If you give them like the whole kitchen sink of just like, yeah, this, and this, it's going to go right past them. But being able to articulate just like one really amazing, desirable transformation you can create for their life, like that's gold.
Hey, and welcome to the Speak Organized podcast. I'm your host, Melanie Summers, and I'm your go-to gal for all things pro-organizing business. I am also a professional organizer and a business coach, among many other things in the industry. And I like to speak organized to give you the tools to conquer your clutter, live life with more purpose, and learn all about the business of tidying. Do me a favor, if you are brand new here today, I don't want you to miss out on any of the upcoming episodes, including this one. So go ahead and take out your device and tap that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on the opportunity to learn something new with us every single week. Also, be sure if you're watching this on YouTube to give us a big old thumbs up and tap that notification bell so you're notified whenever we post new content. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcast, you can leave us a rave 5-star review, which helps us grow and connect with more amazing folks just like you. I also want to make sure that if you are not in my free Facebook group yet, that you come and join us. That information will be down in the description of the video and the podcast show notes. If you're an organizing enthusiast with questions, or you're getting ready to start or level up your organizing business, it is the place to be. So be sure to check that out and join us there. The main mission here at I Speak Organized is to give you the best quality tools and resources to level up your business and have a truly successful 6 or 7-figure business that doesn't suck away all of your time. So if you're brand new to all of this and it seems very overwhelming, you don't really know where to start, you have come to the right place. I am your go-to gal for all things pro-organizing business. If you're afraid that you aren't enough, like you don't have enough experience or you don't really have the goods to bring to the table to charge what other people charge or whatever story you happen to be telling yourself, I am here to help you understand that you can be exceptional with the right tools and training. So in just a few minutes, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about how I can help you with that. But in the meantime, let's get into this juicy interview. All right, speaker fam, it is my absolute pleasure to welcome Caroline Van Natta from Tidyish down in Virginia. And I want to welcome you to the show. I'm super excited to have you today.
Thank you. This is such an honor. Like, I just love your podcast, your YouTube channel, your group, everything. So it's such an honor to be here. I'm excited to chat.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for making the time. And I am equally admiring all of the different things you got going on. And we're definitely going to dive into that today. But first, I always want to give you a chance to introduce yourself. So, can you tell us a little bit about your journey into, you refer to yourself lovingly as a former messy person. I can absolutely relate to that. I was that way as well. So, how did we transform from that into the successful owner of a professional home organizing company?
Yes. Well, it's funny. Just now, you saying former messy person. I'm like, no, current messy person who's just figured out some things along the way to make my life easier to be able to have both like a business and like a life outside of my family, but then also a family and kids where I'm really present. So I grew up without any like systems or organization. We had a messy house and life was really chaotic. And, yeah, getting, living with other roommates in college really opened my eyes to like how things could be. And eventually someone, actually my mom, told me to read The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. Is that what it's called? Marie
Totally.
Kondo's book? And I rode that wave and decluttered and I was like, "Wait, what?" Like my room feels like a hotel all of a sudden. And then kept learning and getting better. We sold a house and I like decluttered it and just like it went amazing on the market. And I feel like the way I styled and decluttered it, made us a lot of money, but also I left being like, wait, do I have to leave this house now? This looks amazing. And so just like eventually implemented all these things. And then, yeah, woke up one day with like needing a career shift.
Mhm.
And I don't know how this came in my head or how I realized this was a career. This is in 2022, so not
Mhm.
that long ago, and I was like, "I just
Wow.
wanna be a professional organizer."
Mhm.
I wanted to do real estate, but my kids kept getting sick,
Mhm.
and I was like, I couldn't take the test.
Mhm.
Thank God. And So it really just was like, sounds like an amazing business for me to be able to still like show up when my kids are sick.
Right.
Someone needs to do that in the family. And yeah, also like I learned so much, I have my story and it's so much easier to organize for other people,
Mhm.
right?
100%. 100%. I hire my team to do stuff in my house all the time because I don't want to do it.
Or it's like we're doing exchanges right now on our team where we're organizing each other's spaces.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, it's brutal because the person being organized, like, guys, I don't know where I need your help. But it's like, yes.
We all need help. We it's just a testament to how needed we are, and I'm really glad that you're not a realtor as well. I mean, you and I both work with a lot of them, and I would so much rather be helping them out and making their home sell for faster, higher prices. So, right? Like 100%.
Mhm. This is so much
Um
fun.
So, but you also, in addition to all of the wonderful things that you've done in such a short period of time, I hadn't realized you'd only been tidy-ish for a couple of years, which is amazing. Like
Mhm.
absolutely amazing. Your business is just it's incredible. You're doing so well. I'm so proud of you.
Thank
Um,
you.
but I know that you also now give back in a coaching capacity,
Mhm.
and you have this really unique ability to kind of help other organizers stand out, particularly with marketing and things like that. So, what kind of motivated you to focus on this area within the organizing industry?
Yeah. So before I started my organizing business, I was doing online business and marketing with that.
Mm,
So I was helping, other coaches and experts in very crowded markets get their message out.
mhm,
So it was already something I had a lot of experience in and I loved. And I truly believe that's why my business was able to do so well when I started.
mhm,
Um, because, yeah, there was a lot of history, a lot of failures, like a lot of failed businesses. It's not like I woke up one day and started a successful organizing business. There was so much there.
mhm,
And yeah, I just kind of looked around and realized like, oh, this came really naturally to me because of my experience, because of the insights, the things I've learned about how having a niche, having a really clear message, really communicating the value of what you do
mhm,
makes you able to work with dreamy people, just like amazing clients who are like pay in full, let's go.
mhm,
And then also, I got pregnant right when I started my business. So I did not have energy to do it. So I was just like spending very little time on my marketing and still having like, hitting 10K months within the first like 6 months. Like it was like, okay, I think this is because I knew all this marketing. So that's what I love to help organizers with. Just help them kind of look around their market and see like, not just like who am I and how can I help people uniquely, but how to communicate that.
right.
So we want to know that ourselves, but if we come take, what someone else is experiencing when they Google for a professional organizer, we need to kind of think about what they're seeing from their lens and like feed them a reason to hire you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, that's well said. One thing that you point out, which and I love this phrase, is helping people uncover their unique magic. So everybody gets very concerned about market saturation. That is something that we're watching happen in real time in the organizing industry. Everybody and their mom wants to be an organizer, and you got to know how to run a business, but you also need to know what makes you unique. And you did hint at that a little bit with your niche and kind of understanding how to really drill that down. But can you kind of explain what you mean by the unique magic and how you discovered yours and help others do the same?
Yeah. I think there's a really um what's beautiful about niching and marketing is that there really isn't just like one way to do it. It's not like seniors, moms, realtors. There is like your story, your transformation that you've experienced, however that is through organizing. Is it that it saved your mental health? Is it that your parents had like a situation or something? Just kind of like your why,
Mhm,
what brought you in here. But then there's also like the transformation you provide. So the, like, magic that happens after you work with people. So it's really, like, what I like to help organizers with and where I believe they can really make an impact with getting more clients is not just, like, picking a niche,
Mhm.
like a client avatar, but really leaning into that transformation and their story and the magic that they bring to this whole transaction.
Mhm.
Because no one wants to just like get organized. No one wants to declutter.
Mhm.
Like it's really not you can say it in a way that's really not sexy, or you can say it in a way that's like what I help moms do is create easy to maintain homes. Like I want their lives to be so easy. And so that really is the magic is like that transformation and what people really want.
Right, right. I think that's really well said. There's definitely more to unpack with this, and I don't want to get too down in the weeds with it because we could talk about this forever. But a lot of organizers kind of understand that on its face, but there's just a lot of common challenges that come with being a business owner and a professional organizer in an industry that is rapidly growing. So, what are some ways that you can help organizers overcome those challenges and kind of help differentiate themselves in the market?
How do I sound positive here? I think a great
It's okay if it's okay if
no,
it's
no. I think actually a lot of organizers are not great at marketing.
not. Mhm.
And I think just spending a little bit of time and I'll give you some tips right now of doing what I'm gonna share is like enough to make you stand out. And that is I'll give 2 things that I think would be the biggest needle movers if you're wanting to really stand out in your market. And one is to state a transformation, an outcome. What's in it for them? And to find as many specific, tangible things that you change in their life, their day to day. Um, but I think, yeah, really like leaning into what happens after you leave their house and how they feel, how things function. So getting clear on that. And I think I actually just said to say as many things as you can, and I actually wanna take that back and say, like, just pick one.
Yeah. At
Just,
least
like,
to get
one
started.
transformation. Yeah, and because if you give them, like, the whole kitchen sink of just, like, "Yeah, this, and this," like, they're not gonna it's gonna go right past them, but, being able to articulate just, like, one really amazing desirable transformation you can create for their life, like that's gold.
Mhm.
And then the other one is, yeah, it's niching. It's just picking a customer identity and like owning it.
Mhm.
Like saying like, "Hey, moms, people that struggle with ADHD, people who are selling their house, downsizing, empty nesters, whatever, like try leaning into it because the reality is that when people see all of a sudden their identity, like, "Oh, that's maybe for me, she gets my specific problems," they're more likely to choose you than just the organizing expert with, let's say, a big Instagram following or something. Like, it's just an amazing it's just like a free way for you to, like, really leverage psychology or just, like, how people are thinking about things.
Right.
So it's like if you needed heart surgery, you saw a problem, you would go to like a heart surgeon that specializes in that. And so, yeah,
Right.
that's I think just an easy way that anyone, no matter what stage you're at, if you're like wanting some more clients, like that's a something you can do with your marketing activities is just get more specific on those two things.
Absolutely. That's really well said. I use the same analogy actually with doctors and what they
Yeah.
specialize in. I'm
Okay.
like, listen, sister, you're not going to go to a cardiologist if you have issues and you need to go see your OBGYN. Like, very different parts of the body, functions, issues, like all across the board. You need a specialist, right? Same thing in this industry, without a doubt. So I love that you're bringing that energy. It's very important. Okay, pop quiz time. How would you feel 6 months from now if you were sitting in this same spot and you owned your own professional organizing business that was booked out with clients that you actually really like to work with every single day? How would you feel in that moment? I imagine that you'd feel pretty good, but we're sitting here today and there might be something holding you back. It could be that little doubt whispering to you, who am I to do this? And I'm here to tell you right now that I have been there, we've all been there, and it is not only possible to overcome those fears, but it is essential because there are people out there right now who need someone exactly like you. Remember, I am here in your corner to help you with this process. My brand new mini course, From Overlooked to Overbooked, it's all about finding and attracting the right clients for your business to book your calendar solid with proven strategies strategies. No more reinventing the wheel. I'm going to show you how to set up and optimize your website and boost your visibility with SEO strategies that actually work, that I use in my own business and many of my clients do as well. I'm going to show you how to promote your business so that you don't feel like a sleazy used car salesman from the 1980s. And I'm going to show you marketing strategies and materials that you definitely haven't come across. They are specific to our industry. And I'm going to show you how to network effectively, who to talk to. I'm going to give you scripts and I'm going to give you templates, all the things that you need to feel confident stepping into your business owner's shoes and rocking it to build a successful organizing business. And lastly, I want to invite you, if you're ready for more tools and you want to get paying clients in the door faster, to go pick up my Pro Organizer Forms Pack, which has 9 done for you forms in a free Canva account that are 100% customizable templates. You get access to all the essential forms that you need to onboard your clients and run your business professionally. You get the client agreement, health and safety waiver, credit card authorization form, and so many other forms that you will need to run your business. You start with the starter pack or the premium pack. You have 2 options to choose from. And again, that information is linked down below. As a thank you for being an amazing member of my speaker fam, you're going to get $8 off both my overbooked course and my Pro Organizer Forms Pack using the code YTPRO8 at checkout. So that's it. No more waiting. It is time to step up and make your dreams a reality, because your future as a sought after professional organizer is just one decision away.
Mhm.
And so there's let's talk a little bit more about the impact, because I know that story branding is really important to you, and I think it's really important in general. And I really want to make sure that people listening and watching can understand the value of this and really drive it home. So I know you got a success story in there, and people may need to get used to pulling them out of their own lives, whether it comes personally or whether it comes from a client or whatever. But just start to think about those things, document them in the right way so that they're getting more transformationally minded. So if
Yeah.
you wouldn't mind sharing, um, how you can describe a client transformation, or talk a little bit about your story a bit more and how that is particularly impactful. Why is having the transformation so important? And can you give us an example of what that looks like?
So yeah, it's interesting because yeah, everything that comes to mind with this question is all in like the consultation once they've reached out to me. So, and that's because, I'm not I was just want to normalize this too. I get clients on Instagram and in Facebook groups, and no one ever comments on my stuff. I'm not having conversations there. That's not the marker of getting clients. And that's just occurring to me that that's interesting. But I have, of course, lots of once people do reach out to me, it's clear that what they're looking for.
Mhm.
Um, and sometimes I like want to go deeper with them. Like, so tell me, why do you want to get organized? Like, why is this important to you? What got you to reach out? And half the time, it's just like I just can't stand anything on the countertops or anything. But it's really been powerful to ask questions like, I'm just curious, like what really made you decide to reach out? And get them going with a story.
Mhm.
Um, instead of just like and sometimes they'll be like, "I just, my mudroom's chaotic and it's crazy and I need help." But sometimes they will tell you a story about how they were doing something specific, like, I'm getting knee surgery in 1 week,
Mhm.
and I just wanna cry every time I walk into the playroom, and I know that I'm not gonna be able to pick up everything in
Mhm.
a couple weeks. And so it's like, this is like how you keep this cycle going of an easy to maintain home. Like, I swear there's so many times where my clients will text me and say, everything's just so easy to maintain. But I know that I planted that seed, like in my marketing.
Yep.
So I didn't hear from anybody on my Instagram that it resonated with them until I got the phone call from the Instagram client, and then they tell me it like the text message following up. So I think it's just I'm not sure if that even really answered your question, but,
It definitely does.
okay.
Not
Yeah,
not
I
in the
just
way not in the way that I was expecting, but you've brought up so many really important things. One, how, like, social media works a lot differently than people think it does, and it works differently than it used to even just a couple of years ago.
Sure,
A lot
yeah,
of people are not engaging, there's a lot of lurkers, and so
sure.
it's definitely a big part of the equation, but people really do like feed into the transformation aspect. And you demonstrated perfectly why that's so important, because not only are you feeding them that, but then they're able to sort of attach a meaning from their life, and it all
Yeah.
just like comes full circle so beautifully.
Yes. Yeah, and it's like, I think we also need to people kind of intuitively know, like, you know, when people show you their kitchen or whatever, and they're like, "I just know this isn't right."
Mhm.
And I'm like, "Is it bothering you?" And they're like, "Yeah," but they're not like sitting there meditating on their kitchen functionality and how they feel cooking dinner or making lunches for kids. But if you can like kind of point out like this is going to make your morning so peaceful. Like this is going to make it so much easier when you get home from work to like the spices are all right here and easy to find. And like literally saying that to them when you're doing the walkthrough at the end, it's like I think we have such a great opportunity to offer them like this mindfulness
Mhm.
um with just like how they're living their life and
Right.
functioning in their home.
Right. Absolutely. Beautiful. That's a beautiful way to wrap it up. And so obviously, like, you've thought a lot about this. You're very good at it. It comes through in your sales and your marketing and your visibility and all those different things. So
Thank you.
there's many ways that this can be infused in your business to find similar success. And I know people listening and watching, especially in my audience, tend to be, they're newer in business. And so it's really just hard to know like how to pick a lane or pick a strategy and go with it. So what is
Mhm.
your advice for somebody who's just kind of starting out feeling really overwhelmed, and like where should they begin with all of this?
Mhm. So, yeah, you know, like I think you already said it. Picking a lane,
Hmm.
picking a strategy and going for it.
Hmm.
And not throwing in the towel the first time, the second time, the
Yep.
20th time. And my biggest lead source when I first started my business was Facebook mom groups. I still get a great deal of my business from there. And my strategy is really simple and interesting, but the reason it works is because I did it for a long time. And it's like still paying off. And I figured out what works. I tested it. I didn't just like throw around 100 different marketing strategies and try it all. I mean, yes, you have to stir the pot. You have to be having conversations and showing up. But like, I was like, I'm going to figure out how to get clients here. I know they're here.
Hmm.
And so figuring it out. Of course, see if you can get help along the way. Hearing what's worked from other people is great. Um, but yeah, I just feel like just pick a lot of people struggle with just picking one and consciously saying, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna make this work until it like really doesn't make sense to keep trying
Right.
and go.
Yeah. How long do you think that you go about testing a specific strategy until you're like, you know what? This is no longer worth my time and effort?
Well, I don't know that I've given up on any strategy. I guess we never really actually did LinkedIn. Like, I had a VA and we were kinda cross posting everywhere,
Mhm.
and I, LinkedIn but let me just tell you another story that I never filtered that I would just never thought I would tell, but
Mhm.
I had gotten great clients from Google,
Mhm.
and I don't know, I just had, like, a really big high last summer making just some really big months, and I was like had this beautiful vision for our website
Mhm.
and paid to have a designer do a new website and it was pretty different. And a couple months after we started Google Ads for the first time. And
Mm.
y'all, just the money dripped out. Like it was crickets.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What?" And I wanna share this because it's like to kinda normalize it. Because how many I mean, you probably have heard this too, Melanie, like, how many organizers are just like, "I don't know what happened,
Yep.
but I haven't heard from any." I feel like what was working then isn't working now, and it's just, like, funny. I mean, the reality is I'm still doing Google Ads, and I did keep this website, but it took, like, 5 months.
Yeah.
for that to really work. And honestly, like, how many times did I almost switch back to my old website? Because I was like, "Is it the website that's wrong? Like, I'm confused. Is it should I find someone else to do my Google?" Just all these questions. And I feel like it's like, I guess I had the money to do this and stick it out, and now it's definitely paid off.
Mhm.
I think I should, like, take a minute to celebrate that. But, I feel like it can just look so different. Like, I don't have a I'm not a process person in that way, I
Mhm.
wish, but I just wanted to share that story because it's like sometimes it can, like, look kind of ugly and feel really scary and
Mhm.
vulnerable because you're, like, ditching $1,000 a month for ads. Like, that's just the reality, and then you spend a couple thousand on this website and you're like, Was this the worst idea ever?"
Right.
Was never broken before. I just wanted to optimize it, and so I just wanted to share that because other organizers I talk to have similar stories where maybe it didn't turn around, but,
Mhm.
um
Oh gosh, I mean, I can 100% relate to that, and we've been through similar struggles. We had probably, like, in full transparency, one of our worst quarters ever at the beginning of the year, and it just started picking back up, and I was having
Yeah.
similar, like, heat under the collar moments where I was
Yes,
like, I just hired all these people. I'm
yes.
really struggling to, like, keep them busy and, but things do normalize after a period of time, and I always try to remind myself that it's similar to the process of, like, pruning a bush, like, if you garden, which I do not garden, but apparently people that do garden are going to laugh at me when I say this, but apparently, when you do prune a plant, a bush, a rose bush, whatever, you pull it way, way back. People are like, "That's it, you killed it, you killed the bush." But then, a couple months later, it comes back bigger and fuller than ever, right?
Mhm,
So, I
mhm,
think you just explained what that process looks like and what so many of us are experiencing, and the difference between you, if I may be so bold, is to use you as an example versus somebody who throws in the towel just a little bit too early, is that you just picked up and continued to take one foot in front of the other and you just kept going. You spent the money. It wasn't
mhm,
easy, but you did it, right? So I think that's a fabulous way to demonstrate what's possible. If you're feeling overwhelmed, you just keep going. You know what I
mhm.
mean?
Well, to go to your garden analogy, the reason that that happens is not because, like, I know there's different types of hydrangeas where you literally cut it all off. You cut
Mm,
2/3 of it off, and there's just these wood stems all winter long,
mhm,
and then they just spring, green, summer, blooms. But so much is happening over the winter. That's why there's a lot of plants that you divide in the fall or you plant in the fall because so much happens with the roots. They
mm,
are diving deep. And I think when you go through these experiences like I just shared, I don't know that I can always articulate it, but, like, I got experience. I learned a lot
mhm,
about websites, web design, optimizing, blogging, and looking at data instead of drama, like,
mhm,
the data of the clicks and everything and being like, "Okay, like, there's so much that will happen even in those ugly seasons
mhm.
that can hopefully help you in the future, whether that's your business or your personal life."
Wow, that's beautiful. Okay, now I also know that you're the person I need to come to when I have any questions about gardening.
Yeah, literally 2 months ago, I did not know the difference between an annual and a perennial, and now, like, in full ADHD fashion, I could name 80% of perennials, maybe 90, like, in my neighborhood. I'm obsessed, so maybe you'll get the bug one day.
Yeah, yeah. I hope to. My dad's an avid gardener, has been his whole life, and is
Really?
just really talented. In fact, he lives in Virginia, but he lives a little bit closer to the DC area. So,
Yeah, okay, well, maybe I need to come
yeah.
steal plants from him.
Yeah, we can meet in the middle. We can meet in the middle. I do want to pivot just a little bit to talk a little bit more about your organizing approach, and just kind of unpack that a little bit. Obviously, as part of your marketing strategy, you target busy moms in a
Mhm,
similar phase of life to you and I. And you really describe your process as being non-judgmental and focus on tested and approved solutions, right? So, how important do you feel like this philosophy is in your business, and how do you ensure that your team embodies that approach? Because you do have, I don't know how many people you have on your team, but it's really important. I cannot stress this enough to have a cohesive understanding about your brand and your vision and all that stuff, so
Mhm.
that you can convey that to your team and make sure everybody's kind of like on the same page. So, how important is that to you?
Yeah, it is really important. It's maybe too important. Can
Let's
I
talk
say
about it.
that? That is not what you were looking for.
No, it's
Um
okay. I love it. I can pivot. Like I'm good. I want to hear the real deal.
I want to stupid proof my clients' homes. One busy mom who's about to have her second baby, um, told me that. She was like, "Can you just stupid proof this?" And I was like,
I
"Yes,
love that.
definitely." So yeah, there is just the thing is my team they have different experiences. I have like two core teammates, Bryce and Blair, and I've known them both for a long time. And they both have unique life experiences to me, which is a beautiful thing. Like they are not a messy person. They're not messy people like me. So they're able to execute things beautifully. But I always am coming in and being like, no lidded bin here. We need to just combine these and do a dumping bin. Or like these are too tight. I want to make sure they can easily pull them out when they're frustrated or distracted. Um, so yeah, that's kind of it is really important for us. Like I am so willing to stay that extra 30 minutes to just like make sure that zonings really make sense.
Mhm.
And that like the husband and the nanny and the grandma, like it's just gonna be like so obvious this is where the toilet paper should go or whatever.
Mhm.
So yeah. But it's also, like, hard it's so hard to, like, not perfect things and understand that my clients might tweak it in a month or so just because that's life, and so, you just want it to be so perfect and optimized, but also our clients sometimes just want us to get out of their house. They're
Right.
like, "It's fine."
You're like, "I get it. You're really good at this, but, I'm not gonna be able to whatever, whatever story people
Mhm.
tell themselves for sure."
Yes.
Everybody's got their own definition of what organized is anyway and their own threshold and
Yes, true. Our client today, she had these like piles kind of on her countertop that looked like nice and neat. And she sarcastically said, like, look how organized I am. I'm like, yeah, this literally is organized.
yeah, it is.
All your daily supplements are right here. All of the coffee stuff. Like so it's so funny how we use that word too. And like, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it can be interpreted in many different ways.
Mhm.
So I want to just kind of like as we start to wrap up, I always like to ask my guests this question, kind of what your vision is for the future of your business, whether you want to talk about stuff that you're working on for your in-person business or anything for your coaching and consulting. What are some goals or projects, anything that you're just excited about that you want to share with us?
Mhm. Yeah, so I just like have started like exploring my ADHD more, understanding myself and like kind of like really just letting go of some of the shame, just like understanding and honoring my capacity, like being really realistic. And so this is really a season where I am trying to work less
Mhm.
and be like truly lean into being a better every role I have. Mom, wife, coach, leader of my team, marketer, salesperson, just like human in the community. Um, and this has been a really big turn from my big revenue goals that I used to have. Like I've hosted some amazing virtual summits for professional organizers that took a lot of work and were really rewarding, but I was just spreading myself so thin.
Mhm.
And because I have these ideas that I love and I want to live in, but I've learned that they don't really feel good. My ideas don't always feel good in reality. And so, well, it sounds so like funny, but I'm just like, my goal is to just feel good and be more happy. So I'm
Mhm.
taking a day off work. on Fridays. A lot of it's gardening right now, trying to get off work at like 2:30. So this is really new for me and but it's been really great and it's I think even deeper, like, it's really what I aim to help moms with in their home and other organizers because I have a membership where I literally write their social media content for them and will review it. And so I'm helping them spend less time on their marketing and all that so that they can be show up however they want to for their life. Um, and so, yeah, I'm just like, I want to embody that too, as well as offer that for other people and help them.
That's awesome. It's beautiful, and it just like it's beautiful, but it also makes me sad because I can hear what you're saying, and I think, yep, I recognize that. I do that too. Oh, yep, I recognize that. I see that too. And we always are the last people to put our strategies to the test on ourselves.
True.
We do it for everybody else, and
True.
dream marketer, dream business owner, and boss, and all these different things, and helping our clients, and all of this, and then finally you turn it inward, and that was the whole goal to begin with. Was to have that freedom and flexibility and time to be the people that we really want to be and show up how we know we can.
Mhm.
So I'm so proud of you, and I'm so glad that you're finally, like shifting it and turning it inwards, and focusing on yourself, because that really is what it's all about. And
Mm.
and I aim to do the same. Easier said than done, though. Tell you what.
Truly. Truly. I mean, I was addicted to stress. I still am. So it's just so funny. Like, how do you yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So grateful for you and all the work that you do. It's like I'm like, "No, Melanie, don't slow down. Keep
Well,
putting out more amazing content."
yeah, well, and that really is definitely what I love the most, and it really is for me, I guess the biggest struggle is, and I'm sure you can relate to this because I also have ADHD, and there's so many things that you can do and that you can do well and that you're passionate about, but it's just a matter of determining what you really want, what other people really want, what's going to get you closer to your goals. And so it just is very easy to get down in the weeds with all these things that you can do and all the wonderful fruit that can be produced from everything, but you can't produce wonderful fruit if you're spread too thin. So,
So true.
yeah, that's always the challenge. We're always, trying to figure it out, what we should focus on, what we should prune back, what we should burn,
Yes. Yeah,
It's so
somebody
hard.
told me when you have ADHD, your brain is like a race car or, some level of car. And it's just, I've been noticing it so much more. It's like, yeah, you want to just keep going, going, going with your ideas. But like, if you think about a race, I don't know anything about NASCAR or anything. It's like they don't drive all day. Well, maybe they do, but like they're not driving 24/7. It's just like, they only, do it for a certain amount of time, and it's so hard, I think, for us to just, like, stop driving. Like,
Yeah. Put the pump of
stop, we
brakes.
are tired. But you're like, "No, let's go."
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm just, like, picturing that little, like, party animal in the back of your brain that's like, "Nope, we gotta keep doing it." Yeah, and the rest of
Yes.
our soul and body are like, "We gotta pump the brakes a bit." I love it. Yeah, this is where my brain is going right now. Um,
Mhm.
anyway, you and I'm sure, could talk about this for a really long time, but I do wanna respect your time, and kinda close out this and make sure, just I wanna summarize just for people watching and listening, those of us that are really, I want to drive this home. So what people are kind of hoping to achieve with refining their organizational skills, they're trying to stand out as organizers and really truly find their voice. If you could just share one or two key takeaways or resources, places to get started, and then I would also love if you could share with us. I know you got a workshop coming up, some other things. So if you could just kind of tell us what you have coming down the pipeline for those who are interested so they can get a hold of you.
Yeah, I think I just, like if I could have if someone's watching and is like, "I'm hearing crickets, I feel like things aren't landing, I want more clients." However you're getting in front of people, I would just encourage you to, like, pick one little juicy message to give them, which is like, who you're speaking to, and then like a transformation. So is that, them being able to be more present with their kids, get out the door quickly, feel more confident at work, save them time. That's a big one.
Mhm.
Just like start to like be a little more transformation. Talk about that. Like that's the fun stuff. So just try sprinkling it in. I also, if you want to learn more about how to do this and more examples of what this could look like, I have a Facebook group, the Pro Organizer Hangout, where I go live and share videos. And there's like a bunch of videos there of me sharing little tips, things that I have done that have worked and I've seen other organizers that I coach implement and get more leads and get more success. But if you are like, oh my gosh, I want to find clients online, I want to have amazing messaging. Like, I want people to dream clients to come knocking on my door, and get to enjoy the work that I do with them. Send me a DM on Instagram or Facebook. Instagram is really where I hang out. It's tidyish underscore. You might be the great fit for my membership, Booked Organizer, which you will get email content, meaning um, content that you can send to an email list. Like I'm going to teach you email marketing, social media, Facebook groups, how to get clients there. So if, my big thing has been like, how can I get clients in my pajamas? And that's exactly what I teach other organizers to do.
That's beautiful. I love that. I'll make sure all that information is linked down below so everybody can come and find it and send you that DM because I'm sure there will be people reaching out to you. And I do want to just say I'm a member of your Pro Organizer Hangout Facebook group, and you told a really interesting story that I shared with one of my clients the other day, actually. And you're probably like, I didn't even know you watched that. But you were talking about taking your kids to the dentist and how the dentist sort of just like unloaded all this information on you, and you were like, okay, what should have been a very simple and easy transactional moment in my day has like stressed me out. And now I think my kid is like dying of 15 different things all at once. And this like didn't need to be this stressful. And I
Mhm.
loved how you weaved that in and tied it to like, don't overwhelm your clients by like giving them like the whole rundown of everything you're going to do. Like just give them the basics. Like, let's start, with one thing at a time. And I love how you shared that. So I encourage everybody to join that group and just get the tidbits because that really stood out in my brain. And I now share that with people all the time.
Oh my gosh. And the thing is now your eyes are going to be open for it, especially doctors. They really do it and it's
Yeah.
because they're experts. They know so much.
Hmm.
But when you start thinking about what other people kind of need from you or want from you, like so much will change in your relationships, in your marketing. It's like, how can I make this so easy for them to digest?
Hmm.
What's in it for them?
Yeah. Yeah.
People
Beautiful.
need.
Yeah, absolutely. Caroline, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's always fun to see
Yeah.
you and just, have you around. I just love having you
Yes,
around. You're
I
awesome.
want to hang out again. So
We will. Are you going to
okay,
H2 Summit this year?
I'm not.
Darn it. I was going to say I'll see you there, but
I know.
next time.
I know. Yeah, literally next time. So,
But
of
there will be other opportunities. Thank you again so much.
course. Thank you so much.
Okay, fam, as always, that's going to wrap it up. And I just want to genuinely thank you for coming and spending a little bit of time with us on the Speak Organized podcast today. Don't forget to take advantage of all the special offers and resources that I have for you as well. Remember that you get that discount available for my Overlooked to Overbooked course and the Pro Organizer Forms Pack as an esteemed member of the Speaker fam. That is my gift to you. Make sure you get on my calendar for that coaching call if you want that one-on-one vibe, and join my free Facebook group if you're into that community aspect as well. I would love to see you around however you want to be a part of it. And beyond that, I hope you have a fabulous day, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.